quick story. Hi, you made it. Okay, it's going to be even quicker now because I know this is Cheryl. She's got an art opening tonight in the Funk Zone. So tonight is the every other month they run a Friday open house gallery festival. Okay, every other month on the third Friday. And Cheryl here has a new gallery in town. So I would recommend walking right across the railroad tracks, don't get hit, and going to her gallery here. Okay. Thanks for coming, Cheryl. Thanks.
What's the name, Tom?
Yeah, it's Doty Gallery, right? Yeah. Okay, so here's the story. I'm going to tell you a love story. About 4 years ago, I got contacted by a man named Marcelo, who was the director at the Arts Fund. About 8 years prior to that, they knew me because I had taught classes through the Arts Fund, and I won the Individual Artist Award for Santa Barbara County in 2004. So they knew me by that, right? So Marcelo said, how would you like to paint a mural in the Funk Zone? I said, I'd be open to that. So he brought me over here and he showed me this wall, and he said that the Arts Commission has approved that space to have a mural on it. So then he introduced me to the owner of the mural, and the owner's name is Kim Hughes. He and his wife of the building is Kim Hughes. He and his wife Tammy have a number of properties that they buy and they restore and they develop. And they're award-winning contractors. So he's an avid art enthusiast. So I showed him a small sketch about that big of this image here that I had done in colored pencils, and he loved it. He said, I want that on my building, okay? So he said, the trouble is, I just bought a house and I'm gonna spend 2 years restoring it. It's up on Ortega Ridge. It was built in 1909, and he's gonna restore it back to its heyday in 1909. And so I don't have the money to do it right now. So I went ahead and I worked up some more preliminary sketches for it, and I presented it to Marcelo, and Marcelo, this is great, you're gonna do it, how much? And I gave him a price, and he said, that's way too much money. So what I found out was I think that he decided for that amount of money he could get more things happening in the neighborhood and have more art. All right, so I sat on it for 2 years, and then Kim calls me and says, okay, your house is done, I'm ready to move forward with the mural. That's not my brother.
Did you call a train?
Yeah.
Your train's here.
I know. We'll just wait, because he's going to... I just went directly to Kim. Kim says we've got the space approved, and go for it. So I did. I spent 4 months painting on these panels that were created by a guy named Perfecto, and it's basically I painted it in my studio, and the thing was really heavy. It was built like a wall, so it is like a traveling mural type of thing. Okay. Okay. So the whole idea was to take a 1920s, what do you call it, a citrus label, and create an image of this man flying over the Funk Zone in the 1920s, paying homage to Santa Barbara's golden age in aviation. Okay, I went to the Historical Museum, and they had a couple of these photographs from the 1920s of what the harbor looked like back then. So I used that as reference, but I embellished the imagery, making it a little larger, more idyllic. And then I had a photograph from the 1990s of a man flying over New York Harbor with the Twin Towers behind him. And that's where I got my idea, was to have that type of an image with the funk zone down in the back here. I found this postcard, which also had some tinted color, which I decided to use as reference to have it be a little antique-y. Then I learned about this man here. His name is Earl Ovington. He came to Santa Barbara in the 1920s. He was one of America's first airmail pilots. So he flew the airmail all the way out here to Santa Barbara, and eventually when he came here, he was flying in this plane here, which is called a Bolero, I think, something with a B. Bolero? That's a song. Bolero's a song. Yeah, Bolero. And so he would fly the airmail from Santa Barbara out to Santa Rosa Island. Okay. Then later on, he built himself an airstrip where Las Positas is, and that the golf course, which is right off of Las Positas. He built his house on the hill overlooking at Samarkand. And then recently, I came across this image here of him in the Montecito magazine, and he's getting a ticket. He's being given a ticket by the police for doing something illegal in his flying. So honestly, this book here has the images of from when I first got the mural, when it's blank, all the way to finish, and how it got to my studio and everything. And you can see the image that was the face of the pilot, and he was kind of had a stern look on his face. And a friend of mine is Michael Peake, and a son of Channing Peake, came in my studio and said, "You should paint your self-portrait in there," right? So, so I got my uncle's goggles, flying goggles from World War II, put them on, and used myself as a model for that image, right? Okay. So I oh, sorry. But the problem was when I finished the painting of my face, it looked about 20 years older and about 20 pounds heavier, and it looked like my dad. And about 20 years prior to that, I had sent my father up. I had organized a flight in a Stearman, an open cockpit flight for my father's birthday, and so I had a couple of photographs of him sitting in the cockpit. So it was pretty cool to think that, you know, it looks like my dad. I subconsciously, it wasn't me, it was my father. So, so it, in a sense, it, you know, became a way of having him live again and fly. Okay, so there you go. So feel free to. Oh, okay. So this is the story. I finished the painting last August, and turns out the permit wasn't cleared for this yet. So there was a big fight kind of that happened over the last 8-9 months to get it cleared, and in the end we came out ahead, and so here it is. It finally is been going to be launched. Now it's only supposed to be up for 3 years, okay, and then they'll take it down and put it somewhere else, I guess, or whatever. But it is sat in Kim Hughes and Tammy Hughes' garage for the last 9 months until about 5 days ago when we put it up. And today was the first day that I was able to look at it. I peeled the paper off, and it was in pristine condition, you know, just like I left it 9 months ago.
Who helped you put it up?
What?
Who helped you put it up?
A man named Perfecto and 4 of his helpers.
Oh, okay.
They had 2 men on each side, 2 ladders, and then Perfecto and myself up underneath. He had put this ledger on it. The thing must weigh maybe 500 pounds. It is heavy. Anyways, so we all, you know, 2 men on the ladder on each side, and then we lifted it up and screwed it into the metal studs
The
inside.
guy's name is Perfecto?
Perfecto, yes.
Dare I ask what?
Thomas,
Yes.
why only 3 years?
Okay, well, the whole process was 4 years ago. It took 4 years to get it here. So I guess the whole idea is you never know how long something's going to take, but when it's finally there, it's there. And if it's really meant to be, it's going to happen. You just have to be patient. So for the last 9 months, it just stayed in the garage, and I just.
But didn't you say it could only be here for 3 years?
That's a city ordinance.
Where does it go after this then?
The city will change its mind.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. So, are there any questions? So right now, Kim and Tammy Hughes, I wish they were here. They're down in Nicaragua, and they're excited right now at this moment because they know this is happening, and they can't be here. So if you're going to film it, this would be good. I'm going to have a little dismount prayer here. Please come down. Okay, so.
We need like some music. A drum roll, please. Oh! Is he going to crack the bottle? Oh no, don't shake it. Don't shake it.
Don't get it on the mural.
I was just warned, don't shake it.
Need perfecto here.
See, when the wind is up, as soon as I take this tape off, it starts doing this. So I've got to be very discreet about it.
That was safe, Larry.
Matter of safety.
Can you do it? Oh, yes.
This is a one-man shop.
That is playing startup. Hello. Nice to see you.
Take this over to that.
We need a drum roller. Let's get the tin can
here.
out, you guys. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, what would that song be?
Okay.
The whole thing would come down at once.
So I'm going to come out there and don't pull it yet.
Oh no, I was just
Come on in.
Never mind that.
It'll be the first time a ship's thing. Really well engineered.
Silly that they have to limit how long it stays up.
No forget.
Don't forget.
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
That would be nice.
Have a whole new crew as a.
I've only thought about this a little bit.
In other words, just wait until they
Right.
contact you.
It could be. It's like hedges. 20
A little bit. It was more for the, yeah, the glory. Yeah, I'm going to leave that up. And I'll pull it up. Hold on. Not going to stay. Okay. This goes like this.
And you talk about beautiful. It is wonderful.
really detailed.
Here comes the wind.
No, and I've got it in the music in back.
Okay.
I'm not placing it,
Okay. Thanks, Ann.
We need a count.
but
Okay.
it needs to be.
A little roll of the drums. Here we go.
Fabulous, Thomas. Truly wonderful.
It does look like me, huh? It does now. It didn't in my studio.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So now, everybody here gets a shirt today to honor this event, and also enjoy the champagne.
Nice.
We have champagne for everybody as well. Champagne
Thank
and
you.
water.
Nice job, Tom.
Oh my gosh, look at the
Oh yeah, I heard it came back.